doing on reality after show, listeners, Survivor fans. If you watch the intro video, I just want to say something. Alex Trias
aren't even on here.
Yeah, Alex Trias and Dan Monchel are not on, but Bobby Goodsby, Jonny Fairplay, Wayne Memmott, and myself at the Matt Bischoff are here to talk Survivor 47, episode 10. And what a season it is. When I'm watching this, you guys, and I'm looking at the players that are still there, I like these people. I'm entertained. And I know tonight's episode.
And Caroline.
Yeah, and Caroline. But I dig it. So welcome, everybody. Welcome to our world. Welcome to the Reality After Show podcast, after show of Survivor 47. And if you like the coverage that we do for this show, Kelly Wentworth has a show. We have coverage that Wayne is doing on the summit. Jonny Fairplay is doing, like I think you said, 11 podcasts last week. And Bobby Goodsby, you are the person involved that keeps it all together. You are the producer, making it happen behind the scenes. And when you're on social media and you see those Instagram reels, Bobby, thank you for producing us and making this the best podcast we can possibly do. And Jonny, thank you for bringing Bobby Goodsby on board, because last week Bobby and I was just us, and tonight we have 4 people. Jonny, you were at a viewing party last week. How did it go?
Well, I have a question. So, what is that Marvel guy, the brain inside the or is it Ninja Turtles?
MODOK. Krang. Krang is the Ninja Turtles. MODOK is the Marvel one. Which one you want?
Yeah.
Which brain inside body would you like to reference? Krang's the funnier one.
That's Bobby Goodsby.
Bobby's Krang
on the Podcast Network.
No, I thought me and Bobby were like a Bebop and Rocksteady type of deal. I thought,
I admire your optimism, but
Bobby, who you want to be, Bebop or Rocksteady or Krang?
Well, since I'm Bob, I got to be Bebop. So Bob
Bebop. Bobby Bebop. That's your producer
You're
nickname.
Not loving the Krang?
I'll take whatever you guys want to give me. Honestly, I got to remember these references. It's been a minute.
Yeah, every best producer has a nickname.
Oh my god! I'm losing my mind just thinking about this. So yes, last week I was in Durham, North Carolina with Zane Knight. Peek behind the curtain for those of you that are not patrons, and you can be. Go to realitypatron.com. That's realitypatron.com, and you can hear our weekly Q&A, which I talked about Zane Knight actually showing up for the first time after 4 advertised appearances. He made it. We were in Durham, North Carolina, and first of all, let me point this out, assholes. I took notes during a live viewing party. I've never done that in my entire life, and I'm just like, let me be a professional. I'm just like, hey, I'm watching the show. I might as well take notes and then, interact during the commercial breaks. We did trivia. We gave away a Teeny autograph. We gave away a Gabe autograph. Oh, that's topical tonight. So
it was that busy you had time to take notes? Sounds like fun.
No, I mean, while I was sitting there, it was literally the smallest notes I've ever taken in the history of an episode.
What, did they forgot to stock the bar or something? I mean, I don't know. I've never been in a viewing party and even had a thought of taking a note ever. Ever. Not even when Jax looked at me and was like, write this down. It's like, nope, I'm busy. I'm watching something.
Yeah, no, I had there's 12 sentences, but it's fine. I took notes, so fuck you guys. But yeah, peek behind the curtain, leaving the viewing party. So we went to Clouds Brewing in Durham, North Carolina. It was amazing, and Zane's like, "Hey man, what are you ordering?" And I'm just like, the best shit on the menu, motherfucker. Let's go. And he goes, hey man, you got it. We're good. So we got that. I don't even know what it was. So anyway, it's like a Buria a deal. It's good. It's really good. So we're driving home, and Zane's like, man, I don't feel good. And I was like, do I need to pull over? He's like, no, man, it's cool. And he just rolls down the window and just pukes down the side of my car for 30 seconds, just nonstop. Just down the side of my, it does not. I'm like, And so like he stops, and I'm just like, hey, like, do you need me to? He's like, no, man, I'm good now.
Oh my God.
So I went to the car wash. They like, it was like, the whatever deal. And it was still in my car. And I went back the next day and ran my car again. It didn't get it the second time. And I had to use like the little brush pre-deal into the mods deal. Oh my God.
Dude, puke only comes off with elbow grease. That's all. You gotta get in there. You need some rubber gloves.
I got like swimwear.
That thing is wind caked onto your Oldsmobile. I don't even know what you drive.
So Zane Knight did make it. But I appreciate you asking about the appearance, the viewing party. It was amazing. We had a ton of fun. I love all the people that have come out over the year. I've been going to Durham for 6 years now, and they bring it, and so that was really cool. But I'm going back to Charlottesville, Virginia. 3 Notch Brewing. Hold on, you guys, check this out. 3 Notch Brewing. They love me so much. They make my own beer. There it is. Jonny Fairplay is there at 3 Notch Brewing, and me and King George will be there this coming Wednesday night. That's right, Charlottesville, Virginia. The Survivor UVA crew is going to be there. I'm a Hokie. This is very difficult. Yes, so I'm going to be there this coming Wednesday night, November 27th. And I go to survivortix.com. That's survivortix.com. And I'm going to make this very fun. And this is the most painful thing I've ever said on this podcast. Use promo code UVA for 10% off VIP tickets.
Are you okay?
I
things must be good for Jonny Fairplay.
I followed your lead, Wayne. I smoked some weed before we started, and then my grandpa brought over. This was not. He did not bring it over for me. He brought it over for my fiance. That's moonshine. So, and just. Just for the fact I'm saying promo code UVA in Charlottesville, Virginia, 10% off VIP tickets, survivortix.com. I will see you next Wednesday night. Here you go, UVA.
They love you so much, they made a sour lemonade beer after you.
Holy moly. Moonshine. Who was ready for that?
What kind of moonshine?
Not that I really have moonshine, and not that that's legal anywhere.
Well, I know Big Tom, I'm sure, has moonshine, a whole basement full of it. But let's get into episode 10, you guys. Yeah, I know. So Saul is out. I'm bummed about Saul being out. Are you guys?
Hold on. Wait, what did you have?
Oh, no, I was just explaining why I wasn't here because it was cool shit. I saw Bob Weir and the Wolf Bros play with the Cincinnati Pops Orchestra, and it was rad. So there's not a lot that would take me away from the Survivor podcast, but that will. And it was fun.
Is that the guy that died?
Yeah, that's the guy that died. Yep. Yeah, he's the one. He's the one that just passed away. I saw him with his band. Yeah, it was good. Yeah,
good score, dude. I feel like you multiverse that one.
Yeah. Wait, what? Edit this out. I don't know what that was. Sorry.
All right, so listen.
You can leave it in now. I miss Saul.
I miss Saul too, but Teeny is ready to avenge the vote out of Saul. It's night 16. She's devastated.
That's what I want to hear.
Yeah, I do too, because Teeny's devastated, and we've seen this devastation when people get voted out. These are not people that are fair weather Survivor fans. These people want to play the game, and that's what I love. And Teeny is like, look, Genevieve, I want to hash this out. And Genevieve was trying to do damage control, but it was pretty kind of crazy because Teeny was like needed a second to really digest what was happening because Genevieve is trying to play a game where emotions are off the table, which is hard to do. And Teeny is playing with full emotion. Yes.
It's not hard to do. It's impossible to do.
Yeah.
And I know there are players like Boston Rob on the only season that he won, semi did that. But there are emotions there. I mean, I'm sorry. I consider toot my own horn, toot toot. I consider myself one of the greatest players ever. I cannot separate. I can to an extent. I cannot. Sandra can to an extent. Cannot. Parvati can to an extent. Cannot. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I feel the greatest players in the history of this game can to a degree, but cannot. And I'm sorry, Genevieve, you are great. And I appreciate your game. And you may win this. Who's to say? Okay. However, do not say you cannot separate because you can't. And I think Genevieve saw that tonight.
She did. She 100% had an emotional confessional where she's like, look, I've tried to play this game as just a game with not letting my feelings enter the picture. But now that I've hurt Teeny by betraying her and putting out this Saul vote, it's really affecting Genevieve. But I love it, the fact that Teeny and Genevieve are able to converse and talk about what went on as adults. And that's what we need more of these days.
Yeah.
We don't get political on this podcast, but listen, we all have differences, and we can sit down and kind of talk through those differences. And that's what we're seeing on the show.
All right, so let's go. So do you think, I'm putting it out to everyone, do you think you can play this game emotionless?
Hell
Absolutely
no.
not. No, my plan is to cry the most so that I get a bunch of screen time. I'm a pretty easy cry. I'll cry. I could cry. You could play.
You never cry with me.
Well, we've never talked about anything real. We're always drunk. We're always drunk and high, or talking about Survivor. No, I mean, yeah, I could cry pretty easy, but I don't think it's possible, because just like you're there, very rarely is anybody on this island that's like, yeah, I don't actually need any of this. Like, sometimes there are those people that like play like, I don't actually need the money, but usually it's like, it is life changing, and to see someone lose that chance at life changing, it's like, unless you're a sociopath, I mean, you can't play without emotion. It's impossible. Maybe Andy. I think Andy could.
Possible, yeah. Bobby, where are you on this?
I think 95% of Survivor players cannot play emotionless. I think there's a ton of people we've seen come in at the beginning of the game, say, I'm going to play without emotion. I'm going to go in there and be strategic. And then we see them 5 episodes in crying on the beach saying, I just love this person so much. There are those, 5% that, can put emotion aside and play the game to play the game strategically. They just know that that's what they have to do. But I think when you have lack of food, lack of sleep, you really get to know these people as people, and you all have a common, camaraderie because you're doing this together. Like, this is a family that's doing this together. You're all starving. You're all sleep deprived. You're all going through this together. And you kind of build those emotions that you can't really push down, especially given those circumstances. So I'd say 95% of players know, and there's that special 5% that are either sociopaths or just special players that play this game and can use it without emotion.
Who's that 5%?
Jonny Fairplay.
No, it's not.
King George.
King George.
King George, yes.
Russell Hantz.
Yeah.
I
until you said that she couldn't, I mean, I don't know that I've seen a lot of. No, well, I was going to say Sandra. I'm not like a student of the game, but I don't remember her like being like really broken down that somebody was was like voted out. Like, she's always like, she's just playing her game. Cerie's another one where it's like, I don't know that, and the other point of that is, there's the other side of that. Some of those emotionless players are probably some of the early boots because they can't connect with anybody. And that's what keeps people on early, is those very early connections. Like, hey, you vibe with me, I vibe with you. We've got 2 votes. We get 1 more. We're all stay until the merge or whatever. And those people are trying to play that game too early because they're not playing with emotion, and they're there to strategize. And you're on the wrong time. Or on the wrong tribe. That's like, you're the first boot. So we might not even know a bunch of those emotionless players because they probably never really got a chance to play much of the game.
The scariest players are the ones that can play and be emotional on the beach and like build friendships and learn about you, but then have no problem cutting you and just have no emotion game wise. Those are the dangerous players.
I'm thinking back to Sandra playing Australian Survivor, and she's like, "Oh yeah, all these baby Australians think I'm the queen, and I'm just teaching them whatever they want to know about Survivor. I'm just teaching them how I'm going to beat them at this game." And she's just like laughing, having a good time, but all of that is driven by, yeah, I'm just going to use the next strategy that I'm not going to teach you to win this game. Like, I'm going to teach you everything up until what I use to beat you. You know, so.
Oh, God. I
think, yeah, the emotionless either probably are out first or win the game.
Emotionless, I feel I used to be in that club, and I'm not now. Maybe I am, but I feel like, dude, it sucks. It literally sucks finding true love, having two awesome kids, and making a very, very few select number of friends.
Yeah.
It sucks. Because I remember having a shitload of shitty friends that sucked. I remember not having a fiance. I remember not having, I remember all these other things. And I'm just like, oh my God, like, I am so happy with where I am that, and I love my Survivor community, where I don't want to fuck them. And I have no desire to fight. Like, I feel like there's a code. And if I think someone's outside the code, I'm coming after you. But if you're in the code, I'm working with you.
Well, I will say this, Jonny Fairplay, for those that think you were just a black-hearted villain, when you played House of Villains, we saw a side of Jonny Fairplay that we really haven't seen. There was some emotion to this love letter to reality TV. So I feel like you have grown. I mean, you played so long ago at this point. You've matured. You just mentioned all these beautiful things you have in your life. And I think that if you were to play Survivor again, would you still be villainous? Yes. But I think that there would be situations where where even the black-hearted Jonny Fairplay would have a tough time voting out someone that you care about, even though it's a game.
Yeah, I'm not getting rid of Carol. Like Carolyn sucks, right?
Caroline.
not suck. I mean, like, as a player, you should not work with Carolyn. I would work with Carolyn. I'm sorry. I like Carolyn.
Yeah, right. Yeah. No, I hear you, dude. 100%.
It's hard overhead. I'm just like, oh my God, what has happened to me at 50 years of age?
A lot can happen when you grow.
Oh, you just have to be able to look at the players and be like, that's just player A. That's not Caroline. That's not Sue. That's not Gabe. That's player 1, player 2, player 3, player 4. And you just be like, oh, now it's time to get rid of player 5. I mean, that's how you have to go into Survivor to win Survivor. You can still use the emotion.
I can't play the game anymore, Wayne. I can't.
Oh, never going to win Survivor.
Oh God!
Maybe
here's some
maybe
real.
Maybe I won't.
Maybe you will. I mean, it's the new era. It's the new era.
I love the idea of playing my community version of Survivor.
There you go.
The door's got to be open. You're all over CBS. You're all over. Probst is talking about you. You're on the promos.
Isn't that crazy? Who's to say? Say that they're not going to do like what everyone wants to see with Legends, and they're going to do Second Chance instead. They're going to do Legends, right? There's no way they're not.
If enough Legends sign up,
everybody buy your Q sweater or whatever you need to, so you can relax and give it up to the big boys.
Johnny, I expect Q skirts for everybody for Christmas. Q skirts for the boys.
That's all I want.
Well, I was thinking something different.
Day 17, you guys. Genevieve and Andy are.
Genevieve does say, I don't know if you got this exact quote, Matt. I'm sorry to cut you off.
Yeah.
Genevieve says, the tallest grass gets cut, and I grew a lot last night. Did you catch that quote?
I did.
Okay. I just want to make sure you got the exact quote. I've never heard that, and there's good quotes,
There's many
been
quotes
for years.
Yeah,
that's a good quote.
Dude, tonight Andy had good quotes. I mean, Rachel had good quotes.
Well, I'm talking about of all time, Matt. Like the tallest grass gets cut, and I grew a lot last night.
Yeah,
is like that's like a quote like over the ages. Not like I don't think Genevieve made that up last night.
No.
Okay,
like that's a quote that I don't know. I mean, I think she put a couple together. But that's like a clip right there where if she wins this game and it's like 5-10 years from now, she's coming back to play again or whatever. That's like a clip they're showing as part of her, like, you know, if she ever comes back to the game or whatever. I mean, I pretty iconic, especially if she wins, you know, because she grew a lot. And if she doesn't get cut and she finds a way to navigate this, she navigated a tough one tonight. I don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but
she's going to high five me.
You got that clip?
What's that?
You got that clip?
I don't have that clip on.
Okay, perfect.
Genevieve is going to high five me. She's going to say, Matt, you picked me as your winner. High five. You've been wrong every fucking time. But the one time.
I was so rooting for Genevieve to go home tonight just so you could not have your fucking winner pick.
Dude, I was so fucking happy.
Who did you have, Wayne?
Well, I only did one tribe assessment, so I never did an official winner pick, but I was okay being saddled with Rome. Like I liked Rome. So Rome was when we reviewed that tribe. When we did it with Jelinski.
Who's your other winner pick? If you could have chose back then, not now.
I don't know that I could do that fairly. I think I probably would have. A lot of the women looked really strong, so I probably would have picked like a Rachel. I might have landed on a Genevieve, but I didn't. You know, I maybe would have picked like a Rachel. Or Sierra.
I feel like Rachel's a very safe pick, but I will say, I will pick for you. I gave you Caroline.
Who?
Yep.
Poor Caroline.
Is that Tweedledee Dee or Tweedledee Dum? Which one is she?
Well, we'll get there. It's in my notes. I can't wait. I got all kinds of Caroline notes. I'm so excited.
All right, here we go. Day 17, Genevieve and Andy, who I love now, talking about the 4-2.
Because remember when you didn't love Andy?
I do, and I know his mom is listening.
Can I tell this peek behind the scenes story real quick?
Sure.
So prior to the Durham party, we had a FaceTime. Everybody got to talk to Teeny and Saul. So Teeny and Saul actually hung out for last week's episode, and Saul wanted to, or Teeny I think wanted to apologize for what happened. And I think Teeny is just like, why didn't you show my confessional? Because they saved it for tonight. She's like, I'm going to avenge you. And I was like, oh my God, why didn't you show that while they were together? So yes, they were together last week. And
that's cool.
Oh, it hurts my soul that they weren't together. But whatever. So, and also Andy could not hear me because he was also at a viewing party, but he sent a picture. He was with his mom, Pam. Let's hear it up for Pam.
Yeah.
Pam.
I love it.
And what are your thoughts on Pam?
Well,
Pam?
Non-sexual, please.
No, I'm just happy Pam's listening to us, man. Like she could listen to all the podcasts in the world, but she chooses to listen to us because she loves us here at Reality After Show.
Thank you for not making it weird, Bobby.
Well,
I don't know, that was pretty weird.
Each and every week, Andy grows on me. I never disliked Andy. I just thought Andy was blowing up his own game early on. And episode after episode, he is killing it. He's one of the most memorable players of this entire season. And I keep looking at my wife. I'm like, dude, Andy fucking rules. Yep. I love this kid. I think he's smart.
I don't know if the jury will, but I agree with you.
Yeah, I enjoy him. So, listen, so Genevieve and Andy are talking about the 4-2 people. Like, look, this needs to be broken up. And then Andy and Sam talking. Sam wants Genevieve to go, which obviously Genevieve is on the chopping block because of her move on Saul last week and the betrayal of Teeny. But Andy right here, he has a quote that I love, which is he says something to the effect of, I am loyal to the soil, which I've never heard that term before. And I feel that Andy is someone who, if you're on his good side and in an alliance with him, that he will go into the game with you potentially. Wrong. I don't know.
No, he describes himself as a slithering snake and follows that by saying, I am loyal to the soil.
Yeah. True. But slithering snake is fine with me.
Later in the episode, it's like Andy has offered the proposition of his number one alliance member. He goes, I love it. Mm-hmm. Andy is all... Okay. I don't like the new era. And I've said that and I mean it. I'm sorry. I love you as people. I've met a lot of you. I love you as people. I don't love the new era version of Survivor, and the way that Survivor is played is so like, it's just like, if you get you see one big move for the resume, and I'm like, motherfucker, like, how about 8 big moves? Like fucking play the game. Like,
I think that's going away. I think that's going to go away this season. I don't think that's going to be the case this season, but I do agree it's been that way for so long.
Moves, and that's why we're loving the season, because there's moves. So so that version of Survivor, fuck that. It fucking sucked. We're done with it. So, but what was I saying?
Yeah. Well, no, but basically, look, he's a slithering snake. He's a silent assassin, and he's loyal to the soil. We're talking about Andy here.
So later, so he goes, I want to get rid of Genevieve because this is the big move for me, and it's just like, I don't like it for you because that's your number one ally at that time, and it doesn't come to fruition. But I do love the fact that Andy's like, I want like 8 big moves. When I go to that final jury, it was like, I got 8 big moves. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Wayne.
Sorry, I got to hide before the show like Wayne normally does. So I lost my thought of train.
Well, I think you're alluding to it when he was talking to Sue. My only question on that is, why do all of these people want to work with Sue so badly? Like, what is driving that? Because like Andy's like, this is exactly who I want to work with, and I'm sitting there thinking like, okay, great. Don't tell her too much. She's already working with Gabe. Like, she's very clearly like a number one to Gabe, and Gabe wants her to be the number one. And I'm like, what is Sue? Like, we haven't seen much of Sue outside of the introduction of like, she's this crazy young 45-year-old lady, this Gen Z out there being all hip and doing TikTok dances for everybody. And we don't really see much from her otherwise, but everyone wants to play with her. So
my opinion on that.
We got more to Sue. Well, Andy is Rachel's guy. Matt, what do you think? Does this lead us into the Andy web, Bobby?
I feel like I have ice in my veins, but people don't see that. People see the charming Andy, and that really is my greatest strength. I built a web of different alliances that no one really sees the full picture except for me, and it's very sticky, and everyone's caught up in it.
On that, Andy tweeted before the episode like a picture of him, like his promotion, and it was like, the web we're weaving or something like that, and had his thing. And the first comment that I saw, the only one highlighted under it, Jelinski just wrote legend. And it's like, man, hell yeah, my favorites. I love it. Jelinski and Andy, best buds. Come on,
all hail Jelinski.
Yeah, 40 several.
Are you upset that you didn't pick Andy as your winner pick?
No.
Okay. Well, I mean,
I love Andy. I love watching him. I don't want to. I think he's getting a lot of credit. Listen, Pam, we love your boy, but I don't know if the web that he's looking at is the same web that everybody else is looking at. Sometimes
it's in the Spider-Verse,
right? Yeah, he's in the Andyverse. That's where he is, and the rest of them are in the Survivor-verse. And sometimes those webs might touch each other, and it works out in his favor. But I don't know.
Bobby, what were you going to say, Bobby, a second ago?
Before we continue, can we just... Is everyone in Rachel's web? Is that what we're saying right now?
Probably. Yeah. Rachel's killer.
I think she's just playing a so under the radar game. Like she's known, but there's so many bigger targets ahead of her that she's laying enough low while they take those other targets out and at least putting her influence on the game. Now, what I was going to say before, to Wayne's point about talking to Sue and telling her, or, you know, getting her when he's saying that Gabe's, you know, in her ear already, I think he had an idea at that point that Gabe was going home. So I think he's like, okay, this is the number for me to bring in, where we probably weren't there at that point in the episode, but I'm assuming that at that point he's having that conversation knowing Gabe's going home, I should pick her up. That's what I was thinking it as.
I missed that part of the connection because I was rocking a crying baby to sleep while I was watching. So
he said that early, and then later it's just like Sue's so out of the loop. Is like, why does that make sense? But yeah, you're right in bringing that up. But like, I think all I see right now is this is Rachel's game to win. At this point of the game, like I see the trap that Andy has laid, and I'm like, I feel like this is Rachel's spiderweb.
And that could be true because listen, Genevieve is going to be on the chopping block. People like Kyle, who's a challenge beast, is going to be on the chopping block. Sue has zero chance. Andy has zero chance of winning. I think Rachel, if she can make it, you know, stay under the radar to a degree, she can win the game easily. I'm worried about my winner pick, Genevieve.
And admit that Saul gave her so what I didn't like last week was Saul going home, because I'm just like, Rachel, like Saul saved you. You should do this. But there's an extra level player that's just like, now's the time to eliminate Saul because he did give me that. And I'm like, oh my God. So I hope that if I were to return, I regain the eye of the tiger, but there's an emotional part of me that's just like, what are you doing? That's so horrible.
Well, yeah, Rachel, I think, has a really good chance of winning the game.
She has the eye of the tiger. And it's a lot easier the first time versus playing with your friends. And that, you know, and that's why Boston Rob and I had a problem for so long, because it's like, you were friends with Lex. And he, you know, it's like, don't separate the game, do this for me. And then he's like, hey, I separated the game. And I was like, well, that's kind of a shitbag move, because you said don't separate the game, and then you did. And so no, I get it, and that's what Rachel might work her way into elite survivor status if she were to win, and even not so, because as I said, we're talking about Andy's web, and we're talking about Rachel.
Yeah, right. Oh yeah, totally. So we go to the reward challenge. It's a sanctuary visit with wraps. Chicken or veggie wraps.
Sanctuary.
Yeah.
What happens there?
Good things happen.
Ooh, that's a little things. Cheesy kind of. I find like this cheese.
Sorry, do you guys not love that as much? I hate that every time I hear it.
I do too.
Yeah,
good things happen. It's just like, shut up, Probst. We've heard it before. It's not cool. It's not entertaining.
Oh, Bobby. Okay, you're the outsider in right now. What do you think when Jeff says the sanctuary where good things happen?
Well, when has anything good ever happened? Like, it's not like you're getting anything from this experience. Like, you get to eat. That's a good thing, but it's not like, oh, this is a good thing that's about to happen.
Okay, well, subtracting the eating, do you think good things happen at the sanctuary?
No, it's no different than any other reward challenge. Like, I'm sorry, there's no difference.
I did not see a glory hole at the fucking sanctuary.
Yeah, I was like, it's not like there's a massage parlor in the background.
There's a pegging glory hole for Matt.
Oh, good things would happen. Of course.
Or maybe, I don't know.
Kyle shows up. He's like, where the hell's the milking table? I thought good things happened here. Whenever Jeff says where good things happen, the only thing that Jeff Probst is removed and the picture of him standing naked is inserted in my vision. And that's all I see is him standing there, D out, going, where good things happen. That's all I see for the rest of my life.
Him and his good friend Robert Kraft are going to show up to the reward.
All right. I'm ready. I'm ready for Matt to show up at the glory hall.
Moron.
Good things happen.
Screw you, probe. Screw you, dude. So fruit juices, cookies and cream cake, and just a feast. Because I don't really get any food out here. So the food is the good things. But look, they got to break up into three-person teams. We have Genevieve, Sue, and Teeny. We have Kyle, Sam, and Rachel, and we have Andy, Gabe, and Caroline. And this is pretty crazy because your feet are bound, your wrists are bound to your waist, so you're having to on your belly like a snake, push this ball over some little dune hills, and I like it. We see Andy use his tongue to get some stuff going on.
Matt, I have a question.
Sure.
Where good things happen, and you're leaving with 3 people with 6 other people talking shit about you.
Yeah, I know.
Well,
so no, there's never good things happening. Like you literally have 6 people going, hey, well, what they should have said, and I have this in my notes later. What they should have said is, hey, did anyone notice that Sam fucking nailed this fucking challenge in one fucking shot?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's fucking, carnival games, whatever, but Sam is a fucking beast. He's bigger than most of you, and no one says Sam after this reward.
I know.
Meanwhile, Kyle, as soon as they get a chance, they're voting him out. Also, this challenge is just one of those weird ones where it's that is very, very difficult, the crawling that they did, but it does not televise well. I just thought that it was kind of boring to watch.
It was the whole boring. It is much better on paper, Wayne. You're correct.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And it's I'm sure it's very difficult, and I'm not saying it was easy, but it just it was okay, all right, how. You can only put suspenseful music over it for so long. It's dun 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 dun, dun dun dun. Yeah, it's just
And I feel like the last part of it where you have to roll the ball into the little golf putt kind of hole thingy. That was pretty fucking easy. Sam dominated first try, bam. So obviously it's not
this is the most boring reward challenge possibly in the history of Survivor. I had my friend over, and he's just hey, so they do cool stuff later? I'm yeah. No, the immunities are big, they got ramps, and they go over something and under something, and he's
puzzle.
Oh, and there's a puzzle. And then my buddy watches, and he goes, so it's just a ball on a plate, huh? And I'm just yeah, fucking budget cuts, brother. I had no idea that Australian Survivor's budget cut into the episode 10 of season 47.
The worst part to me is the sand in the mouth. You see multiple players just sand all on their tongue, in their mouth, Sam spitting it. I don't want to see that. That, it literally gives me a feeling of disgust, seeing their mouths full of sand going through the sand. I'm I just need a beer right now. I need something to quench my thirst, because that just dries me out watching it.
My only notes are Andy deep throats the ball and George came to watch that.
So Sam, Rachel, and Kyle are the winners. And we go to the sanctuary now, where they're all feasting. Sam eats his first kiwi, which I think is very odd that you've never had a kiwi before. He likes it better, or he likes pineapple better than kiwi.
That's the least weird fruit that he's not eaten. Kiwi does have a barrier, a brown, fuzzy kind of, wait, what do I do with this? And if you don't have a parent that knows what to do with it, it's And kiwi's not in a bunch of fruit salads and fruit cups and things like that. So it's I understand kiwi.
Yeah.
For the record, Wayne. All right. So if I'm presented a kiwi on Survivor sliced up, I'm eating the entire thing.
Oh yeah. I just a handful, all of it. Yeah. I'm not gonna be like, oh, I don't like it as much as pineapple.
Well, no. But even slice up with the fur on the side that you don't eat. I'm eating it on Survivor because there may be nutrients there.
Yeah, that also might be where the mites live.
No, but Johnny, like you said, if I'm out there and there's a fucking kiwi, I'm eating it like a fucking apple. I'm like,
you're eating it like Tessa on Sunday morning.
Yeah, and if I don't like the skin, I would chew it up and I would just spit out the remains that I didn't want to spit out.
If it's not sliced up, if it's not sliced and I don't have like a knife or anything like that, I'll just eat into it for sure. Yeah, of course.
But so that you would think that may influence Sam's decision-making process on kiwi as his acceptable fruits.
Well, the best part is Sam's kiwi came all prepared and cut up without the skin on it.
Yeah.
So he had kiwi and he's like, oh, I like that. He'll go to the grocery store and be like, I like that green one. Where's kiwi? And he might end up picking up like a bell pepper. Yeah, he'll never find it. He'll never find a kiwi at a grocery store. It's like green. It's got like black seeds. And like this one, he's like, no. That looks like a little baseball. No, I want like the green one. Like it's got little black seeds in it. It's kind of sweet. Like, yeah, kiwi. No, not the bird. I want like it's green. It's got little seeds.
Dude. All right. So where are we at with Sam?
I think like Sam.
The fact that he didn't get voted out this week means that they don't view him as a threat. And he, as strong as he is and as like good at challenges as he is, and to not like be seen as like driving the game or needing to get out. You get to the final five, he could find himself in the middle of two alliances and be the deciding vote. And then he wins the next challenge. And now he's in the final three.
Well, put it this way: looking at who's on the jury right now, Sierra and Saul. I think if Sam's in the end, he's got Saul and Sierra's vote.
Yep.
Saul's not going to.
He's got Sierra's vote. I think Saul's vote's up for grabs.
Well, if Teeny's at the end, then I don't think he's got Saul's vote. But
at this reward, Kyle mentions Gabe, right? So we have this Kyle versus Gabe kind of situation here because they both are decent at challenges. And Sam says, look, I'm looking for people to work with here. Like, I don't want to be next on the chopping block. I would love to get Gabe out because Gabe is a strong, strategic game player. And the thing that I noticed most about this, and I wrote this in my notes, Rachel is patiently sitting back and listening. I didn't look at this as they're not, giving Rachel a chance to answer. I think she was very smart, listening to the boys bro down, and she's digesting it all. And then she is a silent assassin. She is one of the smartest players this season, and I fucking love how she played this reward area. What do you think, Bobby Goodsby, about that?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think that she played absolutely perfectly as she should. For me, like, I want to go back real quick for a second, if I may. Sure. The whole thing on Sam, where we're talking about Sam and his game, I think the best thing for his game is to keep the threats like Kyle and Genevieve further in this game, because as soon as they're gone, him and Rachel are going to be the top targets, in my opinion. People are going to be gunning after them. So I think Sam needs to stop playing the side to agree with them getting after Kyle and Genevieve. I think he needs to keep them a little further. Mm-hmm. We got a guest.
Hey.
His lawyer's over here. We're drinking moonshine, and we drink a little too much.
Okay. Thank you.
You've heard it here first, everybody.
My lawyer would not drink.
Was that a threat or a promise? I don't understand what just happened.
I don't even know how that works. I feel like it's surreal. Is this surreal of the week?
Yes.
Yeah.
But Rachel, look, she doesn't know what she wants to do. She's sitting back and listening.
It was full.
It was.
You guys did work on that thing.
Here we go. We finished off the reel. Great.
So after this whole thing,
Bobby,
you guys,
that ends at 46 seconds. Whatever it is, you know where to end that reel.
I need another beer.
We all do now.
there you go. So look, so back at camp, Andy is talking to Sue and says he wants to be partners in crime with Sue. Okay.
Yes.
And I do like Sue in the fact that she's an older player, which we don't see a lot of older players. We went through a fucking era of Mactors.
She is 45 years old. She's 45 years old. You do not call her an old player.
To anyone, whatever. Listen.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but you called her an older player, and I will not stand here. I am almost 40. 45 is not an older player.
I have in my notes lots of things about the younger demographic that I would like to refer to with Sue, but we're not there yet. You're really stepping on my jokes.
Well, Sue, Bobby Goodsby, Sue has a montage of talking shit nonstop on fucking Kyle. Let's see some shit, baby.
That. Yes, I got it right here.
Yes.
Oh, we have all of it.
When it comes to Kyle, there's sort of beef with Sue.
I want to kill him. He lied to me and wrote my name down. That's why I don't even listen when he talks. I'm like, I want to kill you, Kyle. He is a liar. Yeah. He does the poor me, the woe is me. How many times do we have to hear that he's poor?
All right, and it's better. I've got the second clip of Sue hating on
you got
Kyle.
More?
I got more.
Because he wrote my name down. 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 Because he wrote my name down. He wrote my name down.
So Kyle, he calls you and Caroline Tweedledee and Tweedledum.
Really?
He does.
Who's Tweedledee and who's Tweedledum? Huh?
Can I say something right now?
Yes.
Andy, and I know you watch this, and so does Pam. And Pam, you need to talk to Andy about this. Respect your youngers. Thank you. I'm out. That's all I got. That's the best line I wrote down all night. I'm out of here.
There you go.
All
there
right.
you go.
Moonshine talking.
Good.
But so this montage, you know, they talk about voting out Kyle because Kyle is a challenge beast. But then there's Gabe and Teeny and Caroline. We see a clip of them talking about voting Kyle. Gabe is so smart, and if I'm out there, Gabe is going to be someone that I want to get out as soon as possible over anybody. Which is obviously, I think, the majority of the people
I want to work with.
Really? Man.
I love Gabe.
I love Gabe too, but he's so smart.
Shield, brother. Listen, of the available meat shields of Kyle, Sam, and Gabe, I want Gabe the longest.
Gabe, man,
because Kyle's going to do what he's going to do. You can't change Kyle's thought process, okay? Mm-hmm. Sam is just a loose fucking cannon. He's fucking worthless. Gabe, I think if you're in with Gabe, you're in with Gabe, and I beat Gabe on the final tribal.
Johnny, you know who Sam's giving me vibes of and why he didn't last very long? Simon from Australian Survivor.
Yeah, oh, he's very Simon-esque.
Like he's very, and that's why Simon didn't stay around as a meat child long enough. Yes. Yeah. And you're right about Kyle. And I do agree. Gabe's the one that you could beat in the challenge for the right challenge when he needs to lose so that he can go out when it's his turn.
And he's very malleable. I mean, like he's we've heard if you're paying attention because and they've done it very, very quietly. If you paid attention, Gabe is he's a shitbag. He's a scumbag player. He's a bad guy. He wants to destroy people's dreams. These are all the things I look for in an ally in Survivor. Like, this is the fucking guy I want to fucking work with.
Yeah.
So if he's with me, and I think at this point in the game, I'm solidifying that alliance with Gabe, and I'm good there. Whereas there is no, like, Sam will flip on the drop of a dime.
Yeah.
And Sam is just told, like, Sam's like, I'm doing this, and I'm a single dad, and it's like, oh, you gotta go.
Sam's problem is as soon as he gets a little bit of power, he's gonna let it all get built. Like he's gonna immediately go from underdog to alpha male. Like there's not gonna be that.
And then gone.
Yeah, and think that, and then he's gone. Yeah.
Next week, Sam's gone.
And can I say, I'm not buying into any of the Gabe hype. Okay, before the season started, Gabe was talking about himself being like on Mount Rushmore. They were playing that like, oh, this guy is going to be a big player. Then we see him this season. We hear last week when Saul got voted out, he was saying, oh, watch out for Gabe. He's a smart player, man. You'll see. And I was like, okay, maybe something crazy happens with Gabe. I can see something going on.
I was expecting it too.
And then all of a sudden we get here. And I'm like, okay, maybe Genevieve's got to be going because there's something big with Gabe coming. So it's got to be Genevieve tonight. And then it's Gabe. And then he's like, oh, yeah, I'll be back. I'm like, no, you won't. Like, I'm sorry. You are not anything. Like, sure, you are a good player, but you're not an all-time great. You're not someone worthy of coming back. I mean, we've had crazier people come back. But at the same time, I'm like, this guy really didn't do anything. Like, he just leader of a strong alliance, and that was it.
Here's the test. Name the third jury member of any other season of Survivor.
Ric Flair.
But right? So it's like, no, you won't come back. No one remembers that.
No. Sorry, Gabe. I love you, Gabe.
I think Gabe seems like a great guy, but I think in Gabe's head, Gabe is this almighty God Survivor player, and to the rest of the world, we didn't see that.
I saw a good player.
Gabe stays if I'm there with Gabe.
Mm-hmm. I like Gabe, and I think he's smart, but it's funny, like you guys are saying, when Gabe said multiple times tonight that I'll be back, Tessa looks at me and is like, I don't think that guy's playing again.
I don't think anyone watching that didn't think, I don't think that's happening, dude. Like, we got Rome, who went home weeks ago, and we're all saying he's definitely coming back.
And Gabe is memorable. I will take that, but I applaud him for giving that kind of, trying to like make shit happen. And
it's called bravado.
Yeah, but
And bravado, for those of you that don't know, the literal definition is false confidence.
Yeah, there you go.
It's Jonny Fairplay, reality TV icon, Survivor Hall of Famer. And I'm talking today about WorkMoney. WorkMoney is a non-profit organization that focuses on lowering costs and raising incomes for all Americans to make American life more affordable and American families more economically secure. They provide products, services, perks, benefits, tips, and tools to help members improve their financial lives. It's time to level up and make more money in this economy. We're talking getting rich. Now, this sweepstakes is giving away $50,000. You can use this to pay your rent, your mortgage. Imagine what you can do with all the money that you'll save. Now, this is put on by WorkMoney, and this site has all these sick benefits, and it's free. Go sign up right now and get more rich. Now, listen, you can change your life. Now, what would you do if you didn't have to pay your rent or mortgage for a year? Listen, sign up right now for free. Link is available right here in the show notes. Check them out. Personally, I'd get more pinball machines. I'm Jonny Fairplay. I wouldn't lie about that. It's WorkMoney. More money.
Where were we at? I had to step away. Where are we at right now?
Gabe thinks Kyle's coming after him. Yes. Sam is attempting to assemble an army of outcasts. And I'm like, oh, I don't want this. And at this point, Teeny would like an all-women alliance with Sam.
Well,
Teeny, we love you. I make fun of the peek behind the curtain. I love Teeny. And me and Teeny talk. And
Teeny
we're not
rules.
supposed to, and it's fine.
Yes.
So Teeny has an all-women's alliance with Sam at this point. Mm-hmm. So we're going to get to some Teeny moments. Yeah. But Teeny reaching out to Sam, I'm just like, all right, Teeny's still in the game.
Mm-hmm.
I love seeing Teeny reach out of what we've been shown literally for 6 episodes of this. I want an all-women's alliance. I'm saying I'm a woman. I want an all-women's alliance. I want Teeny to be Teeny, and this is Teeny's episode, and we're about to get there. So, but Teeny is also feeling a breakup with Genevieve, and Teeny has all reasons to feel. I'm a shitbag on Survivor, and I accept that and I own that. However, there were moments in which I didn't like what I was doing, and those moments, I may not have shown that on TV. I may not have done that at confessional, but I did take a moment to walk away and be like, "Fuck!" Like that one sucked. Like Rhino. I love Rhino.
Yeah.
So, and they didn't show me going, "Man, that fucking sucked." I loved Rhino.
Yes.
Right.
Okay. So those moments are fucking real, and that was real with Genevieve earlier. But Teeny's just like, "Hey, here's my fucking," like, and Teeny's just like, "This person fucked me over, and I need to process this."
Yeah.
And in addition to processing this, I need to process this, my existence, my life, my relationships, and my gender, and this is a whole big thing. It is amazing. I think they have not done a great job of this in other new era seasons and personalities. I think in some of these they've really dropped the ball, and I think they're very proud of what they've done. And some of those they've done well, and some of those I don't think they've done well at all. And I think this is one in which the world can watch and be like, "I'm with you."
Teeny is a champion. Teeny is an ambassador. Teeny is inspirational to many. And tonight proved that. I did not feel when I'm watching this, some of the new era was like, I'm tired of politics and all the bringing like shit that's going on in the world into the game. And I know Jeff Probst was like wanting to bring that stuff in and kind of focus on that. We are finally getting a season where we're allowed to see the players play the game, but we see Teeny and her personal identity within the game and identity in real life. This is a battle, and this shows the true human behavior, human experiment that made us all fall in love with Survivor.
That's what Survivor is.
It's what Survivor is, and this encompasses what Survivor is. And I think if Teeny goes home tomorrow, she's been a bigger inspiration than anything that CBS has tried to like shove down our throats.
Yes.
Anyway, so hats off to you, Teeny. It was a beautiful moment, and I love you.
Well, and hats off. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry,
Bobby.
go ahead. Okay, I just want to say, I think I've watched thousands and thousands of confessionals as a super fan who's watched his show since he was a kid. I think, and this might be a revisionist history, I think this might be the single greatest confessional of all time when it comes to a personal experience in the game and outside the game. Like, there's a lot of people come on and give great, strategic talk or like, witty talk, whatever. When it comes to an actual emotional experience, I've never sat there and thought to myself, wow, like, we need to protect this person at all costs. Like, I love everything about this person, and like what they're sharing is so deep rooted in human emotion outside of the game and inside the game that I feel like I'm right there with her and just want to give her a hug. So like for me, I think that this is one of the, if not the greatest confessional just on a human element. And I think the show showing this was the greatest thing they could have done, because I think it just shows what we love about Survivor.
Yes.
Agreed.
Yeah, Bobby. I mean, that's a better way of kind of what I was going to say. Is just that a criticism of early New Era was that they were shoving these stories down our throat. It didn't feel natural to hear some of these human interests, and this was like, and it almost felt like the producer was like, "Hey, tell us about that time that you were bullied or whatever." And this was like, no one asked Teeny to talk about this. This is Teeny talking about what Teeny is dealing with in the game both in her place in the game and place in the world, and how it's all coming together at this moment of weakness because she is hungry and on an island and exhausted and tired and all of those things. And it really, so same.
Yeah, best confessional of the new era. Can we agree on that?
Yes,
I'm
100%.
not. I don't remember all of them, but this one's memorable. You know,
Well,
so
there's one with Banu where he talked about the hearts.
Oh yeah, I mean, for the right reason, maybe most memorable for the right reason.
Banu,
please don't remind me of Banu.
We're going Banu. Teeny, congrats on number 2.
Yeah.
Oh God. So Teeny's her bag burns in the fire.
We're big Banu people.
Dude.
This is how you win a million hearts. So I mean, to bring back to Banu.
I don't remember his name. Was it really Banu?
It was Banu. But look,
wow.
Teeny's bag burns in the fire.
Oh, can I say something right now?
Sure.
So the rumor and innuendo with Survivor 50 is second chance. It's out there. I'm not throwing anything out that's not out there. Dude, if we see Banu, are we punching our fucking televisions or what?
I'm not watching. Okay.
We're not covering it.
I'm watching.
You can cover it. You guys probably should cover it because it's your podcast network. And it's but I will not be covering
fucking Banu's there. But Jonny Fairplay's not there. Caroline, in spite of her reel that she just did this week, she's not there. But Banu's there. We're okay with that?
Not watching.
Yeah,
I mean,
I am because shitting on him on the podcast would be fun as fuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right, where are you at, Bobby? You watching this? Are you watching this fucking shit show?
Wait us out.
I need a second because just imagining Banu back on the game is just great to me.
But why? But why? They never bring anybody back, and now they're building up this whole thing where everybody's excited. We're talking about a Survivor season that's happening in 3 seasons. We've been talking about it since 45, and it's like all these great players, and we get a chance to see the greatest of all time.
We're not.
This awesome competition, and we're not. We're getting second chances, win a million hearts, a new era, the newest era, the newest era, and
go fuck yourself.
All right, Matt.
Can I say? Am I allowed to say that? I don't know.
Matt, over under how early would Banu be voted out if he's on second chances?
He'll win. He's going to win.
Making the jury. And second chances, this fucking shit cast. Oh my God, he might win.
No, Banu is pre-merge.
Banu goes far on this fucking.
On this cast, we're gonna do a gentleman's agreement because.
Where are you at, Bobby?
I'm saying pre-merge all day. Like maybe episode 1. Maybe episode 1.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. He's fucking gone.
We're playing for oral.
So Teeny's bag burns in the fire, and when Teeny's bag burns in the fire, this is a celebration of the Teeny bag burning is a sacrifice of stuff, and this is like the rebirth of her fire to compete in the game. So Teeny, the episode was yours. We go to day 18, the immunity challenge. It's balance a ball on a wooden disc while standing on a balance beam. Starts off with 1 ball, then 2 balls, and then 3 balls. I know I have 2 balls, but if I had to hold 3, I think I could do it. But I like this challenge.
More, Matt. There's more involved. It's the rice thing.
Oh, yes.
Balls are starting to move.
So they have to negotiate, right? They say, Jeff Probst comes out and says, look, negotiation time. If 4 of you decide not to do the immunity, then you get this bag of rice. Okay. And then people are like, let's try to, will you take 3 of us? Blah, 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 blah. Then Kyle has a bright idea of saying, how about we all give up our shots in the dark in return for the bag of rice? Which I thought was, wow, that's a ballsy move. And honestly, quite frankly, there was no shots in the dark when I played Survivor. There was no shots in the dark when Jonny Fairplay played Survivor. So let's just fucking get it out of the way and just have an even playing field, right?
Yeah.
So Sam was not keen on this idea because he is a physical threat. But he was like smart about it because he's like, look, Gabe is kind of talking him into giving up his shot in the dark. And Sam finally caves in and was like, look, I don't want to be the person in a social game to where I am the one telling people they can't have their rights. So this to me is a great gameplay move by Sam. And I think I would have done the same exact thing as Sam, even though he didn't want to do it.
All right, so Rachel comes out not having to give up anything. I wanted Probst to come out and be like, well, you don't have your shot in the dark, so I want your vote.
He probably did. He probably did that. So here's where I'm at. I don't give a fuck about the shot in the dark. George told us, King George was like, oh, I love the shot in the dark. It's fucking great, whatever. Lex is on here is like, he goes, if you're a shitty game player, it's the only reason you need the shot in the dark. I'm with Lex.
Yeah.
If you're a fucking great game player, like I understand that George plays the game in a different way, and George is sometimes on the other side of things. But for the most part, George is a great gamer, and he's great at manipulating other people. So I feel like George is more safer than not without the shot in the dark. I hate the shot in the dark more than life itself. To eliminate this from the fucking game, I fucking love it. And I feel like Rachel's ruined shot in the dark for anyone moving forward anyways.
Yeah, I agree.
They don't do that here.
Yeah, I just was saying, I think we have a auction issue 2.0, where now the precedent has been set that everyone's going to use this as the negotiation tactic for every future season, that they're all going to give up their shots in the dark come the negotiation episode. So now everyone needs to play their shot in the dark before this happens.
Great.
Because it's just that's going to be the thing.
And I would love to play the game with shitty fucking players wasting their shot in the dark, not having a fucking vote, and then getting fucking rid of them.
It's like if you're walking into tribal where not having a vote and a random draw is your best bet, you're done the next time anyway. It's like it can't be that helpful, and especially now with so few people, you need your vote for your chance to stay in over the use of the shot in the dark. Like you should be walking in where it's like, oh, it's 4v4 and there's one person whose vote I can't count.
Yeah. So if you don't know your game, then yes, you need that. But like at this point of the game, I know my game. Shot in the dark means literally nothing, and I want yours fucking gone.
Yes.
Also, the shot in the dark has been worthless forever because you lose your vote if you use the shot in the dark. So if there's really no benefit,
win shot in the dark.
Like the only benefit to using shot in the dark is exactly what we saw Rachel do. But like, if you have an idol,
well, no, we've seen it successfully played one time.
Yeah, two times.
Oh.
One time it wasn't necessary, but it was played incorrectly, and the other time it was necessary and was played correctly.
I say have this be the end of shot in the dark.
Next week.
Sorry, say it again.
Didn't that person go home the next week?
Yes.
Okay, I just want to make sure that.
See, I told you.
But so this challenge, I like this challenge. They're standing on this balance beam and they're holding ball.
Hold on. Before you go into it, so I had Lawyer Bud over here with my fiance, and Lawyer Bud goes, "Hey, what's going on here?" And I'm like, "Yeah." What do you mean? And he goes, no. So on Survivor, they do over something. There's a big ramp, and there's a puzzle at the end. And I was like, yeah. This one, you hold a ball on a plate, and so apparently they have the same budget that Australian Survivor has at this point. I don't know what happened. So are we okay with the ball on the plate?
I mean,
I am.
Here's the deal. This challenge paired with the first reward challenge made for a very boring challenge television episode, which probably dragged down the casual viewer on the episode, and why this probably won't be a well-rated episode. But this type of challenge where it's seemingly fair regardless of skill level, and it's a weighted out type challenge at this point in the game, that's the type of challenges there should be. So I'm okay with it. They just need to jump up these reward challenges and make them like the reward challenge becomes the grand thing, the big up, the big over, the huge puzzle, and then these become the stand on a little beam for 4 hours.
I'm with you there,
Matt. You and I talked last week how I told you, how I walk on my tippy toes. So everyone says that I should be great at last week's competition where you're standing on those platforms and you just try to stand up. And I always said, no, I'd be terrible at this. I've been a server for 20 years, bartender/server. If I can't hold something on a tray, I'm sorry, I deserve to go home.
Yes.
Like
totally.
I feel like I was born for this.
Yeah. Fuck. We need to do a challenge when we hang out, Bobby, like this. Bam,
I would like to play Survivor in the future with Bobby Goodsby.
I would
like to get to this challenge. I would like Bobby to lose this challenge. And I would like to send Bobby home just based on that.
Knowing my luck, I'd be gone in the first. Like I'd be the first one on one ball. I'd be the only person to lose on one ball.
Oh yeah,
knowing my luck.
You're just like, oh, this guy has to go, and they're like, why? I'm just like, listen. Bobby's a bartender. He couldn't do this. He's lying to himself at life.
Well, I will tell you, when Kyle is playing and I see him holding the disc and the two balls are literally just right beside of each other.
You'd love two balls.
That's the key, because when the balls get spread apart.
You hate your balls spread apart.
When they're spread apart on either side.
Where good things happen.
Fuck.
Oh my God.
But I like this. My favorite part is when Jeff Probst says, he said, grab your balls. Do you have any ball clips, Bobby Goodsby, from this shit?
Kyle's balls are starting to move.
That's all I got.
Kyle's balls are starting to move.
That's all I got.
Okay.
I think that one needs to be saved.
Again,
I think
just because I love it.
Here, I'll play it again.
Now Kyle's balls are starting to move.
Oh, Kyle's loves when his balls start to move.
Dude.
The wind's starting to pick up. Now Kyle's balls are starting to move.
So we've gone through a lot with Kyle here. Like, I feel like Kyle is a minuscule character in this season of Survivor. Like, I feel like Kyle has zero chance of winning, even though he's winning immunities and all that. And I feel like he's a good kid.
Yes.
I love Kyle. Okay.
Yeah,
but we're not getting a lot from Kyle, so I don't think Kyle's a major character. But I feel like we're going through the journey with Kyle. Like Kyle's a vegan, and then he transforms to vegetarian, and then he eats chicken wings, and now his balls start to move. He's experiencing puberty. Like, I feel like there's a lot going on here with Kyle as a person.
I do too. The one thing I think about Kyle,
That one, Wayne, that one didn't land.
No, sorry.
Kyle's won 4 immunities.
I was just like, there was a lot going into that. I'm just like I didn't want like a hearty har, but I wanted.
Sorry. I was thinking about Kyle's balls. I was still just stuck on his balls.
Well, I mean, maybe he would like. For the record, I think Kyle has never envisioned that, but may like it.
But Kyle, he wins the 4th immunity, so he's literally in the greats of winning immunities. He has no chance of winning a game in a strategic point of view. I honestly, this is no offense to Kyle, but I'm talking to my wife. I'm like, he just seems real monotone and bland. Like he's not. He's got no emotion. He's just kind of on this same level, chill.
He's the poor man's JT.
Yeah.
Well, and he's one of the very few new era Survivor players that kind of like aren't there to make a television show. You know, like he's not there to get Instagram followers to sell a skincare routine as soon as this show is over. Like 90% of people, no matter what walk of life, they want to have some notoriety after the show, regardless of how they do on the show. They're immediately being dragged in ways to try and use that small amount or large amount of notoriety. And Kyle probably has no interest in doing any of that.
No.
And so for him, he's not like, I need to give these big confessionals to get more TV time. He just wants $1 million. Kyle just wants to win $1 million so that him and his family's life is changed forever, generationally, for the rest of time.
And I don't even think Kyle had an Instagram before Survivor. CBS is probably like, you should probably start an Instagram, bro.
Yeah. No. So, and also it's, I love Kyle as a person. I think Kyle is great. And I've wanted Kyle on Survivor for 6 previous seasons before we got to season 47.
Mm-hmm.
And I think casting, you're failing in that. I know you're giving us this, and this. And you're doing very good on this, and this. But you're failing on giving us what was this, and this. And I feel like there could be an equal platform of both of those things. And I feel like casting has failed us on that.
Kyle, like I said, I think he's a good guy. He reminds me of a Keith Nail type player, but without the lovability.
He's Keith Nail, he's JT, he's all, but in this cast of all these other things that are not what was Survivor, he's the outcast.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then the fact that he wins, go fuck yourself.
But
whereas I feel like an equilibrium of what America actually is half of what we used to see and half of what you're presenting. That is Survivor, and that is what our world is right now. It is both those things. Look at the election. It was both of those things.
Bobby Goodsby, I see your body language. Lay it on me.
The problem with Kyle is not the hick that we wanted him to be, for lack of a better term. I don't know if that's derogatory.
Well, there is that.
You know? So the greatness of like a Keith Nail, right? And that type is you get Keith in a confessional spitting to the side like he's got chew in his mouth. Like everyone thinks that's hilarious. Keith saying like, let's send me out to pasture because, Kimmy's got kids. Like, like the things about him, that's just so real. That's just so Keith. God rest his soul. He was an amazing archetype for that character. You got a JT who's the good old boy that, is just a powerful version of that character. And then you got Kyle. I have no problem with Kyle. I think Kyle probably is a great person, but Kyle is just kind of boring. Like, to be honest, I know you guys won't say it, but I'll say it. Like, he's kind of boring for that archetype.
Well, I'll say it. I'll say Kyle's boring. I like Kyle. Oh, yeah. I think Kyle's boring, and I want more Kyle type. I feel like they casted Kyle because he's the boring version of JT. I felt like they purposely did that because they want to do this version of Survivor, and they hate this version of Survivor. It's just like, dude, give us both Survivors.
We've seen the top. We've seen what that archetype can be.
That like people that are fucking different, motherfuckers. It's not that fucking difficult. That's what makes Survivor great. I want more fucking Dreys. I want more fucking give us more difference than this. We've literally seasons 41 through 46. Are the same fucking people.
Yeah, we've talked about this before.
Why we're liking the season.
We've talked about this before, Johnny.
They vote differently. I'm not saying any of that. I'm just saying they're different fucking people, finally. And Jeff made an ultimatum after fucking Brandon walking up the fucking ladder to change that.
Yes.
And we got it.
So we've discussed this before in depth. We, as podcasters and people that love Survivor, love the diversity of 50% people of color, etc. However, when you're casting the same game bot people, it's kind of defeating the whole fucking purpose. So finally, we're seeing diversity in the color spectrum. We have Indians and black people and trans people and gay people. We see like what the diversity of fucking America is, but we're seeing diversity of gameplay as well.
We're seeing diversity of liberals.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, literally. I'm not being like. I don't care. Listen. I vote. I vote the way I vote.
Yeah.
And I think most of you like the way I vote. Okay. So, but I will say we're seeing a diversity of liberals. I want diversity of. Based on what I saw a couple weeks ago, there's obviously other people. I want those people to play.
Yeah, like I said, we've talked about.
Guess what? On an island, when you're fucking trying to survive, I guarantee there's either conflict or love based on survival, and I want to see that, not joyful and good mood or whatever the fuck that fucking shit was.
Well, think about this. So I'm sorry, Wayne. So like when we go back of early Survivor, right? We see Lex and Big Tom. Big Tom's the hillbilly redneck, and Lex is the tattooed Santa Cruz, California dude. Yeah. And they became best friends. Way
they're working together because they hate each other's lives as they know it.
And they became the closest of friends ever in the history of it. And the reason that I love Survivor is you put, when I played Survivor, and I know you guys always joke around about me and Michael Snow, but it's like the bearded, tattooed BMXer and the gay event organizer from New York. We were the best of friends. I fucking spooned Michael Snow at night. A pegging joke inserted here. But I feel like...
You guys saw strategy?
we did. But I feel like season 47, finally, I feel that with Teeny's story and people's gameplay and stuff like that, we're seeing more of an old school Survivor type game. And that is why I am excited about podcasting about this shit. I have not been fucking excited to podcast about the majority of the new fucking era of Survivor because it's like I'm like, fuck, I want to watch Survivor to escape from what I see on the fucking news. I don't want to see all this shit. So I'm loving the season, dude. I love it.
I love it.
And Johnny, you're not going to get a lot of those people for multiple reasons. It all kind of makes sense. But like, first of all, they have to get people to watch this show. And so like, they're not going to get people they're not going to get too many like, oh, I started Instagram to get on to like for my Survivor season. They can't have that many people because they need someone to have Instagram to promote their damn show to watch it. They also don't want to get stuck into a thing where someone they have on the show and then they have to edit them out of the entire show because their whole population is triggered. And they do lean more liberal because that's who's watching Survivor at 8 o'clock on CBS.
It's not.
I disagree with that.
You're absolutely wrong. Like old white women in the South watch Survivor. That's their demo.
I would say the majority of people that I know that are like when I go to the doctor's office to go get my physicals and the ladies do my blood work, she's a fucking 60-year-old white woman.
Yep.
Now they are getting
They want to change it, and they are getting those views through streaming. They are not getting it on Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. on CBS. Yeah. They are not.
Fair enough. Okay, so not on 8 p.m. Okay, I misspoke there, but I mean, Streaming. There's more views on streaming than there is at 8 o'clock on CBS.
But they're not selling the commercials on streaming. They're selling the commercials for 8 p.m. on CBS.
Yeah.
The most vocal are the far left side. That's what I would say. Is
Fair
the most
enough.
vocal on Twitter and social media are the far left side. So that's what your interpretation of who's watching this is the strong left.
That makes sense because the far right ain't got time to get online and talk about Survivor.
They just also probably don't want to get in a fight with the far left person. Like, just not to get political.
No. We're not political on this shit at all. But I will say, overall,
I think this is a good discussion to have.
I do too. And overall, for me, I'm a 50-year-old dude from Cincinnati, fan from the beginning. I feel like this season is more old school Survivor, and I feel
this is what
agreed.
This is what we used to have prior to the new era was like it was just like push stuff in your face.
Yes.
Versus in old school Survivor, and I feel like 47 is much more representative of old school Survivor. If Teeny shows up prior to season 20, we're getting the exact same presentation tonight as what we got from Teeny, and the world at large embraces it.
Yeah.
And that's what I want.
I guarantee you the majority of people watching tonight's episode are completely inspired by Teeny. And I love that.
Versus the new era, if Teeny is introduced in a different season, and just, like episode 1, I don't feel half of America even likes Teeny. They're just like, oh my God. I think tonight was just like old school Survivor, where we were introduced to Mitchell Olsen, we were introduced to Donathan, we're introduced to all these amazing players pre-new era. This is the way it used to be done. And we love it, we embrace it, and we love them because we're not force-fed it. And I love that.
Kudos to Survivor casting and production for really listening to the fans and listening to podcasters, and we keep it real. Where I'm not, this is a labor of love for us. We love Survivor, and this season has blown me away, and I'm stoked every time watching the show and doing the podcast. And I love
tribal council to get to.
I know we do. So listen. So Genevieve, I just want to say this. We're going to skip along. My winner pick, Genevieve, had the world's shittiest episode. Last week she was a boss. This week she had zero strategy talk prior to tribal council. And I thought to myself, man, this isn't really a good episode for Genevieve.
I thought Genevieve was going home.
But I will say there was foreshadowing when Gabe said, I'm feeling in a really good spot right now. This is the most solid I've ever felt. I thought to myself, there's so much airtime of Gabe. Gabe is probably going home.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because how could you leave Genevieve on an episode where she has barely any confessionals, barely any airtime?
No.
So it was kind of obvious to me that Gabe was going home.
Well, real quick, let's finish the immunity. It's down to Kyle and Gabe, or Kyle and Sue, and I'm looking at Sue, and Sue's got a dirty face going on right now, and I'm just like, of course, all those Gen Xers, they're just making mud pies and just putting them on their face. That's what they do, because they don't, not like us old people. We always clean our face whenever we can. So yeah, so there's that, but Kyle wins, and he's hitting a $120 again, and I'm just like, all right, well, you're the only one using a $120. Rachel wants Genevieve. Andy loves a big move, even if it's against his number one. I'm like, Andy, please stop. Yes. And it's time for tribal, and it's raining.
Finally,
I love a good tribal rain. Do we love that?
I do.
Oh yeah.
It's misery.
Oh, yeah.
When it's raining out there on Survivor, it rained a lot in Survivor Karamoan, the season I was on, and the rain sucks.
Did that interrupt your strategy talk?
It did interrupt my strategy talk. But I loved the rain tonight because everyone's suffering. First of all, we see Sierra coming in a beautiful sundress, drenched in water. We see Saul with a burgundy, kind of like Bobby Goodsby's
also
t-shirt,
a beautiful sundress.
A vest of sorts, showing his muscles.
So you saw Jessica here earlier. My lawyer's in the other room, and so lawyer Bud and Jessica, my fiance, we watched the episode tonight together.
Yes.
And Bud goes, "Who are those people?" Like, not knowing their, and I was just like, "Oh, well, that's Liu Kang from Mortal Kombat, and that's some random hot chick." And he was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
and my buddy was more than okay with that. That's who those two people were. So Saul, kudos. You're now Liu Kang.
Dude, Saul rules.
I think it's bragging rights.
Oh, it is. It is.
Yeah. I would love to be Luke. I'd love to be Johnny Cage or whatever his name was.
So we see Teeny, Jeff Probst is like addresses her. She's like talking about community. This whole tribal was based on the theme of community and relationships.
Are we a community?
We are a community.
Yeah.
The whole reality after show community
all right.
is beautiful.
Tonight, we have 4 people. This is a rarity.
It is.
Who will we vote out tonight?
Wayne?
Sure.
Yeah. I'm not the producer or the 2 people that have been on Survivor. I think I get voted out. Pretty sure. Johnny, am I getting fired right now? Am I getting fired? I don't know how to do
that. What about Matt?
Oh, you fucking dicks.
No, Matt's been on Survivor.
But
and I don't want to get pegging jokes.
Oh God, I'm on the fucking.
Matt, you just got voted out.
I got voted
Bobby,
out.
you're in? We're going in for Matt?
I go wherever the numbers are going.
No. Hey,
Johnny's getting fucking.
Bobby and Matt, let's vote Johnny out.
Johnny's getting out. Johnny's getting out.
No. All right, continue on. We were we're talking about the episode. I don't want to make this weird.
So Andy calls tribal like a battlefield, right?
Oh, is it Wayne?
You.
This is Johnny. Johnny's going home. Johnny's going home.
Oh my God, you guys are the worst.
Johnny's going home.
But Sam said it was not a hill worth dying for, talking about the whole rice debacle, right?
Sure.
So Sam is very smart in this. He's self-aware to know he doesn't want to ruffle any feathers.
Yeah. No rustle feathers here.
No rustle feathers. Andy calls this is like a battlefield. And then Jeff asked Genevieve a question, and there's some like kind of sad, eerie music playing in the background, and I'm like, oh, please, God, don't let my winner pick go home tonight.
Oh, please, God, let this happen.
But at the same time, I'm like, you know what? I don't see a big edit in this for Genevieve. I don't think this is Genevieve's going home episode. When Gabe said, I feel the best I've ever felt in this game earlier in the episode, I was like, this motherfucker is going home tonight.
But didn't you think there was more to Gabe than what we saw?
Yes. I do. Yes.
Yeah. I'm really let down. Like, I felt like the buildup was subtle.
Yeah.
But more than this. And I felt they gave Gabe a disservice in his entire edit. Because I felt like there was more to Gabe than what we saw.
Matt, I was totally with you where I saw those moments where Gabe's like, I just need to get past Final 9 and then the game's mine. And, this is my game to win. All this, like, I was fully on board with you that this is like the version of the edit where this person goes home.
Yes.
But I was so convinced, like I said earlier, by Saul, that something amazing was going to happen with Gabe, that we've had all this lead up of Mount Rushmore and all this stuff, that this guy was going to do something to impress us and be like, okay, he's a good player. He needs to come back. And then for it to end up just being him, I was just like, what the hell just happened? Like, okay, this guy is not what I thought he was going to be. Like, this is not what we were promised. You know, that's where I was at.
And honestly, I would not have shown like I would have edited out him saying I'll be back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that
literally. I mean, like I wouldn't have even shown it because like it's a false. I mean, if they bring him back for season 50 and not a Jonny Fairplay or a Sari or a Boston Rob or a Sandra or a Caroline, I could go on.
Tony Vlachos, Dominic Abate,
fucking Gabe. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
And I love Gabe.
I do too.
But I want Gabe on a second chance. Not any season 52 should be second chance. Stop it. Stop it.
Well, so with that being said, Jonny Fairplay, and I'll leave you with this before we go, because I know I said I wanted to be an hour, and we're an hour and 35. But listen, Matthew Sash Lenahan, my good friend who lives in my hometown of Cincinnati, who will most likely be at our viewing party on the penultimate episode at the Filson with Wayne Memmott, Jonny Fairplay. Sash is at the Wisconsin CBS event.
That was yesterday.
But I know, but he was with Davey and Andrea Bulkey, etc. Yeah. Do you think Davey and Sash are in the mix for season 50?
At least one of them are.
Wow. Interesting.
Maybe, I'm supposedly in the mix for season 50 based on me being on Survivor CBS Instagram.
Yeah. There
You're
you go.
Like, oh, I didn't know that Jeff forgave Jonny Fairplay. Oh my God, everything's changed. I'm just like, motherfucker, shit changed fucking 4 years ago. Shut up.
Yeah. Well, all I know is this season has been very entertaining, and I know we had 2 episodes after the auction episode that were still good episodes.
Can I say one thing about Tribal?
Sure.
So during Tribal, everyone's just like, dude, we are threat hunting.
Yes.
And I'm just like, Carolyn, you're fucking safe.
Yeah, she is safe. She is safe.
We are threat hunting.
But Gabe is gone. I mean,
Carolyn just appeared tonight for the first time this season. I was happy to see you seem like a great player. You know what? I got a phone call from the producer of House of Villains. He's like, "Why do I hate Caroline?"
Wow. I feel bad for Caroline.
Like, well, I was like, we've done some analysis on it, and she's louder than she should be on confessionals, like a shitty Big Brother player, and she's only there to tell you that Rachel's the threat.
Yeah. Well, at this point, I'm excited to see how this goes. Gabe, sorry, I don't think you're coming back, but Wayne, who do you got right now? Wayne, I'm going to ask each one of you, who is your winner pick for at this point on?
Ooh. I'm going to go against the grain and what I think everyone's going to pick, but I think might actually win. And I think Genevieve is still, the fact that she didn't go home, I think I'll pick Genevieve now. I'll redraft a Genevieve pick. My second pick is Sam. I think Sam is my second.
Bobby Goodsby.
So earlier in the episode, you said that Sue has 0% chance of winning.
Yes.
And I think the stage has been set for a Sue win. And here's why I think this. We saw the clip with Andy, where now she has formed something with Andy. We know her relationship with Caroline.
The Young Kids Alliance.
Yes, the Young Kids Alliance. We've seen her relationship with Caroline, who we've not seen on TV. So it's giving me 0 Caroline votes. But we've seen a lot of Sue, and in the back of her pocket, Sue has an idol. Everyone forgets Sue still has an idol. So she could do something in
her fanny pack, like the cool kids rock
from the 80s when she was in her her teens. But here's the thing. I think Sue set her up in this episode. I think we're getting led on to it, where Sue, Andy, Caroline, final 3. Sue does something with that idol to propel her in front of those other 2. And we get led on, since we've seen a decent Sue edit to this point, where they're at least showing her. I think Sue is the winner of the season.
Oh, wow.
Wow, dude, that's fucking great. Jonny Fairplay, where are you at?
Rachel.
Rachel. That's wild.
I think Andy's 0 vote.
Bobby, you just convinced me.
I love.
Well, because the other option is she's with them and with her idol, and she like sheds Andy, at 5, sheds Andy, sheds Caroline, goes in with 2 other people. Well, now she's got Gabe, Andy, and Caroline on voting for her. She's got 3 votes on tribal council or on the jury, immediately locked in.
Who hates Sue? Who hates Sue?
Besides
maybe Kyle.
Kyle. But I don't think even Kyle would. I think Kyle would be like, I like Sue.
Kyle anything on that jury.
Thank you. I appreciate your low budget JT impression of Kyle.
And Matt, how about you? You still Genevieve?
I wish. I just feel that Genevieve did so much damage with Teeny and everyone else that Genevieve's going to be on the chopping block.
Oh, don't fuck it up now, dude! Write it out.
But my winner pick is still. I stay with Genevieve. I love Genevieve.
Double down. This is when you double down.
She's my winner pick. Genevieve, I love you. Teeny, I love you. I love everybody. I do
too.
And Jonny Fairplay, when's your next viewing party next week? Give it a little plug before we get out of here.
I'm not stopping. I have literally been up for 12 days. I have not gone to sleep. I am just sitting here figuring out what we're doing and making everything awesome for the Reality After Show podcast and viewing parties. And so check out SurvivorTix.com. That's SurvivorTix.com. I am going to be in Charlottesville next week with King George. The following week, I'm going to be at Over the Edge, the big Over the Edge celebrity experience with with 130 reality stars and wrestlers and all those things. The following week, I will be December 11th.
Mm-hmm.
I will be in Cincinnati, Ohio. I'll be with you, Matt Bischoff. I'll be with you, Wayne Memmott. I'll be with King George. I will be with, holy moly. Am I allowed to say this?
Sure.
We got Roger Bingham. We got Kentucky Joe's going to be there.
Yes.
He's going to be there with us.
I want to try to find my way over there. I want to try to find my way to hang out with all of you guys.
That would rule.
Like that one, guys, we don't have a lot of Kentucky Joe viewing parties.
Stop saying anything. You are not allowed. I will cut you off right now. I will not let you speak anymore. You're not allowed.
I know.
That's it. We're done with that.
I hope we have 100 more.
Kentucky Joe's going to be there. It's going to be a blast. December 11th at the Filson. Wayne Memmott. We have Matt Bischoff is going to be there. Johnny. How about Sash shows up? He usually shows up for a drink or two.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's gonna be, we always have a lot of fun. It's a beautiful venue.
Guys, come see Kentucky Joe. If you love Roger Bingham as much as I love Roger Bingham, and I hate to think how many more of the Wayne, you're right. There's 100 more of these with Kentucky Joe. There's 100 more. SurvivorTix.com. Come see Kentucky Joe. And then, so that is the part 1 of the Survivor finale for season 47. Mm-hmm. Part 2 is going to be in Los Angeles, California. I will be there with King George, Sugar, Rachel Ako. I think Sam Webb is going to be there. It's a ton of people. I'm not allowed to say it. So, there is a viewing party for the Survivor people that are on Survivor 47 with Survivor. They're having anyway. So they're gonna watch Survivor with CBS, and then there's an after party. Oh, it also happens to be at Jax's. That's right. We're gonna be in Los Angeles at Jax's. Who's to say who's gonna be there? Possibly the entire season 47. Okay, get your tickets right now, SurvivorTix.com. That's SurvivorTix.com. They're fucking free. You just have to go on there, RSVP. However, I do suggest you RSVP a table because space will be limited. And if you don't have a table, you might not get in. There are going to be that many fucking people. SurvivorTix.com, and then you go there and you see the deal, and you RSVP at jacksevents.com or something like that. So whatever. Do what you want to do. I'm going to be there. King George is going to be there. So many other people are going to. Lots of people are going to be there. So yeah, we'll see you there.
There you go.
Yeah, all those SurvivorTix.com. Get your tickets.
And you will
see me
see
King George in Charlottesville.
And you will see Wayne and most likely myself and Bobby next week on the podcast. We love it. Season 47. We love you. We love all you fans. And we'll see you next week on another episode of the Reality After Show covering Survivor 47. Cheers, everybody, and good night.
Watch the summit.